Hello, welcome back. I know I've been absent from this group for a long time. Lots of changes, lots of things going on. And also I've just been taking a step back to reorganize and new things are coming through for me, and I will be sharing them at a later date, which will be a sort of upgrade of my work, shall we say, and what I can offer. Very much more connected to the non-physical, but also bringing through simplified messages to sort of carry and assist, obviously, Spirit's message, but also, the tide of shifting that's going on at the moment, and all the unknowns and all the chaos and what that's doing to us on a microcellular level. And it's really important that, we have to step outside of ourselves at this time and observe what's happening. Because if you stay in the old mindset, stay in the old way of doing things, staying in that sort of rigidity in your thinking, in your actions, keeping yourself small, you're going to stay more in that 3D vibration. The best people can do at the moment is to raise their consciousness a little bit, just to sit in a higher vibration of third dimensional reality. But the more that you work on that emotional body, clear that energy, clear that ancestral line, you will start to be more in the new earth of vibration, the new earth consciousness. Okay. So it's important that, we're talking to the pain in our bodies, talking to the emotions, talking to the shadow self, connecting in with, parts of you that have had trauma or unresolved emotional energy, difficulties, with people, situations where you've left it, unacknowledged, untouched, where there's still some emotional energy sitting there. You've got to be very, very careful of the ego mind at the moment, because when we shift awareness, the ego will try to hold on, and it's very stealthy. It will trick you or make you believe, it'll keep you small, it'll pull you into all of the old things that made you feel good in a more sort of heavy 3D environment. So you just have to be mindful of how that's working. This is why the observation is really important, just to see how, what's happening to you outside of yourself. So when we talk about observation, it's simply setting that intention. You can do it in meditation. You can connect in via your soul in the morning. So you do that morning soul exercise. I've shared that with a lot of you. And then what you do is you set the intention to observe yourself that day. So synchronicity will then unfold. It'll give you the opportunity to observe, and you go, oh, hang on. Yeah, that's not right. Oh, I can see where I'm lying to myself. I can see where I'm cheating myself. I can see where the ego is pulling me back. I can see where I'm denying that emotional trauma that I had when I was, 16 or 27 or whatever. And so then you start to sort of diagnose just what's going on. And then obviously, I'm going to talk about the workshop as well, because obviously we'll get into that at the end anyway. But ultimately, we have to be conscious of what we're observing in ourselves. And so when we create that observation and acknowledgement, it creates oscillation in what we call a unilateral hold. Now, a unilateral hold is where disease, disorder starts, because the frequency is not moving through the organ. There's no oscillation. So when we've got oscillation, everything swings, the magnetic swing, and that allows divine current to move through the body. And anything that's restricted that in that unilateral hold starts to break, and it becomes free. And then through observation, because we are energy before physical, that observation with intention to let go disperses the energy. And of course, the emotions have a higher consciousness. They're intelligent. You can talk to the emotions. I've even channeled energy, the consciousness of emotions and what they're here to do and constructed. They're all part of this 3D construct. So we can experience illusion. We can experience separation. We can experience outside of ourselves. And so because they're intelligent, they don't have to be debilitating. They're actually divine like everything else. So we have to start getting away from this polarity of, shadows bad, shadows dark, shadows this, shadows that, because there is no split between, shadow and light. It's just the same consciousness. And as I said many times, the shadow is just the light where it's turned on itself and it faces its shadow. Just the same as you walk in the sun and your shadow's behind you. So it's the same analogy. Anyway, I'm just going to go into a little bit of a channel and see what comes through. I'm just going to do a short one today anyway. And then I'll talk a little bit about the workshop. I'm going to be running that, I think we said September or October. I will confirm the dates. It's probably going to be closer to October now, but I will confirm the dates with everyone. Okay, all right, so I'm just going to go in and check. Sorry about that. Typical. Okay. We want you all to pause. Take a moment in this month of June to really sit with what makes you uncomfortable. Sit with those uncomfortable feelings. Let them move through your body. And we ask that you just breathe into them without any expectation, without any judgment or criticism. As you become a clear conduit and an observer of that frequency that is within your emotional and mental bodies, there is a hum that can be heard through the resonance of the earth body. It's a low frequency tone. And it'll be moving through the meridian lines, or what you call the ley lines of the planet. They are what we call a fine tuning. They have been activated in the spiritual points of the ancient worlds. But more importantly, under the sea, specifically the Mediterranean and the Pacific. These tones can be heard in meditation for the more sensitive one amongst you. It is not so much about I need to hear the tone. You just need to be aware that it is active. In your subconscious, the wider energy that you encompass as a universal being is already connecting in with that frequency. But we ask you with your intention to align with it in your meditations and just simply say, I wish to align with the tone of the Earth Mother. It is bringing a cleansing, shall we say, a transformation of your Earth chakra. The one that has been striving and struggling with the old Earth frequency. It is the one where you feel separate, where you feel lonely, where you feel cut off from your higher awareness. We would say to you at the moment, it is like walking through rock and mud. But this new tone, this new frequency is of an ethereal nature. It comes through the water, because the water is the conduit for emotional energy, for feelings. So when the frequency moves through your body, it can move through the earth chakra uninterrupted. And this is what we call being in alignment with the divine self, because you are always moving energy through the body. From the teachings, you understand that most of humanity is stuck in the lower four chakras: the earth, the base, the sacral, and the solar plexus. These have the issues of detachment, abandonment, abuse, denial, insecurity, and fear. This is all part of the 3D emotional world that for you and those that are conscious and are ready to evolve. And this is not about ascension, this is about evolution. This is about awakening your higher mind, your higher emotional body around the physical body. So the soul is present on a day-to-day basis on a conscious level. You fear yourself because you don't understand who you really are. And it's the consciousness of the divine energies of the male and female, wishing to align that polarity first in the base chakra. Because 90% of humanity are stuck in that base chakra, in the survival, in the fear, in the misinformation, believing in the religion, believing in the politicians, believing in the narrative that runs this planet. You all know something is fundamentally wrong. But also, this is a gift. It is a gift of transformation. The more you can step outside and observe, as Paul was saying at the beginning, this is for you to then awaken something new, something your mind does not understand, something that you have been resisting for many lifetimes. A lot of you understand now that this is not about past life healing. This is about parallel life healing. This is about converging into the present moment. All timelines that are restricted, that are held in fear and trauma. This is why you wake up one morning and feel all this abundance of energy, positive or negative, because you are feeling aspects of your consciousness from other timelines. It is the abuse of the feminine energy we bring your attention to, because that is what is rebirthing itself on the planet, and we've spoken about this many times. But you have to get into the base chakra in your meditations, in your healings, and expand and allow that feminine energy to move through there uninterrupted, to bring that unconditional love, the vibration of the new frequency, so it can ground into the body, ground into your cells, and awaken the next paradigm of consciousness, the next evolution for humanity. It is about fostering a new approach, and not to be angry at the masculine energy, but to forgive the masculine energy within yourself. Where have you denied your intuition? Where have you manned up to be tough, to push aside others, to squash the inner child, to deliberately avoid your vulnerability and sensitivity because you believed it's weak? Male and females upon this planet do it every day. And this is what is causing the grief on a colossal level. This grief is moving through the chest, through the diaphragm, through the throat, through the lungs. And a lot of you can have congestion in this area for the rest of this year, because that grief is looking for acknowledgement, is looking for expansion. So don't run to the doctor and medicate yourself. Instead, be inquisitive and say, why do I have this? And just simply be with it. Breathe into it. Acknowledge it with love. It is time to walk a new path. Time to awaken something new within you. Don't hold on to what you believe you think is going to create happiness. This is not about finding happiness. This is about finding peace. You live in a world of duality. It's very hard to stay still in this place, especially now with collective consciousness in its huge turbulent upheaval of emotional trauma. Be detached, but be loving, be empathetic, and be aware of everything that's happening within you. Okay. All right, so Module 1 for the alignment modality is starting in, I can't remember if I put on September or October. I will put the dates on here. So Module 1, all the information's on the website. But again, this is a channeled modality, so Spirit will come in. They will create a platform for healing, for you to understand your consciousness. We're going to do all this timeline healing, ancestral. You get activations and symbols similar to what you do to Reiki, but this is an initiation, a rite of passage. This is about stepping back into your light body consciousness, preparing the body, the cells, and also the brain to be in alignment with this new frequency and to be that clear conduit of energy. We'll address all the stuff, you know, your trauma, your abuse, your abandonment, that all comes into place. You'll get that healing, you'll get that sort of general understanding. So this course is for everyone. You don't need to be spiritual, you just need to be fed up of being fed up, sick and tired of being sick and tired, ready to heal, ready to evolve. And the beautiful thing about these live workshops, especially with Spirit, is that they do a multitude of things we don't even see at the time, but also it's just, you just start remembering your awareness. You just remember naturally, you just open up. And we do a lot of psychic and intuitive development as well. We do some channeling. We teach you to channel as well. And it's amazing because these are skills. Yes, it's a workshop. Yes, you do healing, but these are life skills. These are an awakening of something that we've all forgotten within ourselves. But we've come full circle. You know, we're at the end of that time now. You know, time works in cycles. It's not linear, as most of you understand that now. So we've come full circle. We're ready now to step back into that awareness, step back into that thread of consciousness. That is bringing us back into collective awareness, meaning we are coming back, all of our energies, our timelines are merging now, so we will be in that sense in communication with all of those parts of us, not directly always, but you will feel things, you will know, and you will start to understand that, okay, this is what I need to do, and you're just very much living in the moment instead of the linear lifetime of milestones, expectations, and that debilitation of fearing what's going to happen in the future. So it's really about becoming in the present and we work a lot with the mind to get the mind and neural reprogramming. All that stuff is in there as well. So all the stuff's all the information on the workshop, on the website anyway. So have a look, and the dates will be posted as well. All right, guys, look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care.